Pretty much anytime I make a video talking about my experiences in the Mormon church, I get several comments, usually from Mormons, asking, why do you feel the need to make this video? Especially if I talk about my experiences in the Mormon temple. And to some degree, I do understand where they're coming from, because as a Mormon, you are not allowed to talk about those things outside of the temple. So why do I talk about these things? Let's just, aside from the fact that the church did not offer me informed consent, aside from the fact that the church lied to me about a lot of things, aside from the fact that they whitewashed a lot of their history and hid it from me, aside from all the mental and emotional trauma that comes from finding out your whole life has been a lie, aside from the immense feelings of guilt, shame, and worthlessness that the church taught me because I have a woman's body, aside from the fact that I hope that all Mormons going forward will have more informed consent than I did, why do you feel like I shouldn't be allowed to talk about my own experiences? I understand from a Mormon perspective why you would choose not to talk about what happens in the temple, because it's against your rules. I am not a member of the Mormon church anymore. There are no rules stopping me from talking about my experience in the temple. But there are a lot of things that Mormons do feel like sharing. They're very much a proselytizing religion, right? Mormons all the time post about their children getting baptized. They post about the scriptures. They post about their general conferences. They post about when one of their children is called on a mission. They post about when one of their family members gets married in the temple. They post pictures from the outside. I understand that those are special experiences for many Mormons, and I understand why they want to post about it on social media. But how would you feel if people told you that you shouldn't do that you can't post on social media, that you can't talk about being a member of the church? I think that you should be allowed to do that, and I also think that I should be allowed to talk about my experiences. See, there's a lot of people out there that had similar thoughts and feelings to me when they went through the temple for the first time. And most of us who have those kinds of feelings do not feel free to talk about those feelings. One, because you're not supposed to talk about it outside of the temple, and two, because you are afraid you'll be ostracized if you had anything but an exceptional spiritual experience. And even those of us who have left the church and no longer believe that we have to keep our mouths shut outside of the temple, even those of us who are in that position, not everybody is free to talk about those experiences in a public forum, because they might have family members that would shun or disown them if they heard about it. The relationship that my husband and I had with his parents and siblings ended in that very same way. Luckily for me, I have wonderful parents and siblings who still love me regardless of what I talk about on the internet. But not everybody has that privilege. So if by sharing my experiences, I can help another person feel heard and understood, I'm gonna do that. In that video, I said exactly what I was gonna talk about and what I was gonna show pictures of, and said, if you don't wanna see that, you are free to scroll away. So I even provided a trigger warning before it started. I completely understand if that's not something you want to see, hear about, or talk about. But I have a right to my own experiences, I have a right to my thoughts and feelings, and I have a right to share it.